This is a sports catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, Chef Cutter Diamond, welcome to another sports catastrophe on this day. And on this day, September 7th, 1979, weird how the date is reversed, 9/7/79, and it's Velodrome Day. ESPN, see the logo, they debuted as a cable sports network, which is unprecedented at the time. Whereas cable was just kind of in their infancy in the 1970s. Like the alternate to ABC, CBS, and NBC in the US. It was founded in 1979 and they have facilities and studios all across the US. Bristol, Connecticut's the main one, then Miami, New York, Las Vegas, Seattle, Charlotte, LA, and Washington. It's huge. 72.5 million homes have ESPN nowadays because of the whole streaming service. ESPN broadcasts in 200 countries and owns 20% of TSN Canada, so that means a lot of ESPN shows get shown on TSN. There's a lot of controversies, of course. So anyway, this came up in May 1978. Bill Rasmussen was fired from the New England Whalers of the WHA. And then he, alongside a few other people, decided to rent space in Plainville, Connecticut. They wanted to do it, but unfortunately buildings could not have satellite dishes. So they found room in Bristol, Connecticut. And Getty Oil purchased 85% of ESPN's holdings in February 79 to diversify the holdings. There were a lot of doubters because of the sports channel concept. However, ESPN got a deal with Anheuser-Busch to be the exclusive beer advertised on the network. And then Sports Center was the first show, September 7th, 1979, as it would tape things and just bring the news and all that. There was actually a small live audience inside the Bristol studios. 1.4 million people subscribed to ESPN at first. Remember, this is 1979. So anyway, ESPN would broadcast a lot of weird sports like log rolling and roller derby. Anyway, ESPN decided to acquire the rights to NCAA basketball coverage, which was huge because, NBC would have a lot of the games, but ESPN got early round coverage so that those games would go straight to America. It brought March Madness to the point, and Dick Vitale, who was just fired as coach of the Pistons, actually ended up joining ESPN's coverage of March Madness. And then in April 1980, they decided to do the NFL draft, a major TV event that you could see who got drafted and all that. And then boxing came in for 16 years, which was amazing and all that. And then in 1984, ESPN was bought by ABC. Now, of course, under Getty's ownership, it was unable to compete for the TV rights to major sports contracts because of the funding, so they couldn't get the NHL and college football, as USA Network and TBS stole those things. However, with ABC's backing, ESPN got the NHL and some college football events, and the credibility was right there. So anyway, it was what they did. ESPN would break through, get some college football games, and then in 1987 they would broadcast Sunday Night Football to the world, which was amazing. All that Sunday night games would happen in the NFL. Before NBC swiped to get the rights in 2006, it was a major move for ESPN, and ESPN also helped with Monday Night Countdown for football before ABC would do Monday Night Football. ESPN2 would be built in 1993 with niche sports like snowboarding and the World Series of Poker. was overflow for ESPN. It rapidly got to 75 million. ESPN2 and ESPN for that matter. ESPN was acquired by Walt Disney in 1996 and rebuilt as Walt Disney Television. ESPN was losing viewers and all that because other networks would have to pay age fence, all that. ESPN would do ESPN Plus. In 2018, ESPN struck a contract with the NHL, which is still ongoing. And yeah, they got a lot of major events, like Around the Horn, about debating between four sports writers, college game day for basketball and football. E60, first take with Stephen A. Smith. Get Up, a morning show, Monday Night Countdown for the NFL. Part of the interruption, they debate sports topics. Sports Center, the daily sports program, delivering the latest sports news and highlights. Sunday NFL Countdown, and Max Kellerman, he would doing a show. ESPN would branch out to many networks. ESPN on ABC, for one, as ABC would broadcast ESPN style programming. Well, I'll just say ESPN on ABC. It wouldn't be ABC on their own because they're owned by the same network. They would do that. ESPN2, of course, that ESPN Classic, classic events from every sport. ESPN News, ESPNU, as in university stuff, and contracts with other major college things and all that. So it's there's a lot of criticism about ESPN being biased and all that, but I mean, after all, they are who they are, and they're pretty good. I mean, if they weren't good, then they wouldn't survive. Now, would they? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.